August, 0327 hours. Somewhere in the vast Atlantic, a $13 billion warship, America's most advanced supercarrier, has just been put to the test it was never supposed to face this soon. Thousands of lives, billions in technology, and the balance of global power all hang on what happens next. This is not just another drill. This is history in the making. The USS Gerald R. Ford is more than just a warship. It is the tangible representation of American naval superiority. The Ford, which was built to replace the aging Nimitz-class carriers, was equipped with 2 state-of-the-art nuclear reactors and was intended to run for 50 years without refueling. It is the most costly battleship ever constructed, costing $13 billion, and detractors have frequently questioned whether such a financial risk can be justified. Proponents contend that its cutting-edge equipment, like as next-generation radar, electromagnetic catapults, and steel-higher profiles, are necessary to guarantee American naval dominance for many years to come. However, this significant investment coincides with competing countries investing heavily in cyber warfare capabilities, swarm drones, and hypersonic missiles aimed at neutralizing ships. Once a comparatively safe area for American fleets, the Atlantic Ocean is now being used as a test bed for this new confrontational period. With its thousands of crew members and its enormous striking force, the Gerald R. Ford is set to prove whether or not its promise of domination is true. The first strike. It begins quietly, almost deceptively. On radar, faint blips appear at long range. At first, they seem harmless, but moments later, a swarm of drones speeds toward the strike group. They fly low, skimming the waves, using the curvature of the Earth to mask their approach. The Ford's escorts react immediately, anti-air batteries roaring to life as tracers light up the darkness. The drones explode mid-air, their wreckage crashing into the sea, but the sheer volume keeps pressure on the defenders. Radar operators call out targets faster than computers can keep up. On the bridge, the captain watches calmly, knowing this is just the opening act. Drones may not sink carriers, but they test response time, coordination, and ammunition reserves. One officer mutters, "They're not trying to kill us. They're measuring us." And he's right. The first strike isn't about destruction. It's about setting the stage for something far deadlier. The counter-response. The silence doesn't last long. Beneath the waves, a new threat emerges, a submarine, one of the most feared predators of the deep. Sonar operators pick up the torpedoes just as they're launched, alarms filling the operations room. Orders bark across the carrier. Deploy helicopters, drop the buoys, find that sub-MH-60R Seahawks, scramble from the deck, skimming low across the water, deploying sonar nets to locate the enemy. The escorts release countermeasures, explosive charges designed to detonate incoming torpedoes before they strike. The sea boils as detonations ripple through the water. For tense minutes, the battle becomes invisible, fought in sound waves and guesswork. The Ford maneuvers carefully, keeping its distance, every sailor aware that one lucky shot could cripple the crown jewel of the Navy. After several exchanges, the submarine slips away into the abyss, leaving nothing but silence. Yet, the lesson is clear. Undersea hunters remain one of the greatest threats to surface giants. The Ford may have survived this time, but the ocean will always be the most dangerous battlefield. Escalation and chaos. As the sea quiets, the skies erupt. Long-range anti-ship missiles streak in from the horizon, fired from an unknown adversary. Some are subsonic cruise missiles, others hypersonic gliders, their speed leaving defenders seconds to react. The Ford's radar screens flash red with dozens of incoming targets. Destroyers launch their standard missiles in rapid succession, interceptors racing upward in fiery trails. The air battle becomes a deadly fireworks show. Explosions rip through the night, illuminating the sea. Yet, amidst the chaos, one missile slips through. It slams into an escort frigate, tearing through steel and fire. Black smoke billows into the sky as damage control crews fight desperately to save their ship. On the Ford, tension spikes. If one missile can break through, more can follow. Pilots are launched in rapid succession, jets screaming into the night to find and eliminate the launch sites. The message is unmistakable. The enemy is escalating, and the Ford has only just stepped into the storm. Extended technology focus. The Gerald R. Ford is not just a ship, it is a technological revolution. Its electromagnetic catapult system launches aircraft more efficiently than steam, allowing faster turnaround and higher sortie rates. Its arresting gear, equally advanced, enables quicker recoveries. Together, these systems can keep jets in the air nearly 25% more often than older carriers. Its radar and sensor suites are capable of tracking both sea-skimming missiles and high-flying hypersonics simultaneously, feeding data to every ship in the strike group. 2 A-1B nuclear reactors provide virtually unlimited power, not only for propulsion, but for future weapons like laser defense systems. Yet, with all its advancements, vulnerabilities remain. Complex systems are prone to glitches. Cyber warfare can disrupt sensors. And the cost, $13 billion for the ship, billions more for its aircraft, makes it one of the most valuable targets in history. For its supporters, the Ford is the cornerstone of U.S. dominance. For its enemies, it's the perfect prize if they can take it down. The perfect storm. The enemy unleashes its most brutal wave yet, a simultaneous multi-domain assault designed to overwhelm the strike group. From the skies, another wave of drones converges, this time armed with explosives, not cameras. From the ocean, multiple submarines fire torpedoes in unison, their trails converging toward the Ford's escorts. Hypersonic missiles race in from long range, giving defenders just seconds to respond. And then, the nightmare. A cyber attack cripples portions of the Ford's command systems. Radar screens flicker, communications jam. For the first time, the mighty carrier seems blind. Chaos erupts across the bridge, sailors shouting, alarms blaring. Pilots circling overhead beg for targeting data. For minutes that feel like hours, the fleet teeters on the edge of disaster. But training and resilience take over. Manual overrides restore critical systems. F-35s, improvising without full data, strike deep against the enemy missile batteries. Escorts, damaged but still fighting, hold the line long enough for the assault to falter. The Ford emerges scarred but afloat, having proven that even under perfect storm conditions, it can adapt and survive. Aftermath and geopolitical fallout. When the guns fall silent, the world takes notice. News headlines scream of the Ford's first real battle, calling it both a triumph and a warning. The carrier survived, but barely. Allies view the engagement as reassurance that American sea power remains unmatched, but they also note how close the Ford came to disaster. Rivals study the weaknesses exposed, vulnerabilities to swarms, cyber attacks, and hypersonics. Naval analysts debate whether supercarriers remain the future, or whether smaller, more numerous vessels will dominate tomorrow's seas. Politicians weigh the costs, billions invested in a single target, versus the price of dispersing power across multiple platforms. Meanwhile, military planners across the globe quietly prepare, knowing that the next battle will be fiercer, faster, and deadlier. The Ford has set a precedent, but it has also painted a target on its hull for every rival navy. The arms race has entered a new, volatile chapter. The human element, life on the carrier. Beyond steel and weapons, the USS Gerald R. Ford is a floating city with more than 4,500 souls on board. Life aboard the ship is a constant balance of routine and readiness, where sailors live in close quarters, eat in crowded mess halls, and work around the clock to keep the massive vessel running. Every role matters: engineers tending the nuclear reactors, flight deck crews braving dangerous jet blasts, medics preparing for emergencies. The sound of jet catapults, the rhythm of announcements over the loudspeakers, and the constant vibration of engines create a world unto itself. During combat alerts, daily life vanishes instantly, replaced by drills, orders, and the weight of survival. For the crew, the Ford is not just a ship, it's home, workplace, and battlefield, all rolled into one. When the alarms ring, every sailor knows they are part of history, bound together by duty on the most advanced warship afloat. The human element is the heartbeat that keeps this technological giant alive. Global eyes watching. While the Ford battles for survival at sea, the world's eyes are fixed on every move it makes. Satellites track its location. News outlets scramble to report on its clash. In Washington, analysts huddle in secure rooms, parsing every fragment of intelligence. In Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran, military strategists quietly study the footage, noting where the Ford excelled and where it faltered. Every intercepted missile, every drone destroyed, every moment of confusion is logged, dissected, and stored for future doctrine. The Atlantic battle is not just about the U.S. Navy. It is about the future of naval warfare itself. Allies cheer, taking comfort in American strength, but adversaries whisper about vulnerabilities exposed. In an age where information is as powerful as firepower, the Ford's trial by combat sends ripples across the globe. The clash at sea becomes a clash of perception, strategy, and willpower on the world stage. The psychological war. Not all battles are fought with missiles and torpedoes. On the Gerald R. Ford, sailors fight another war, a war of nerves. Hours of tension stretch into days, each alarm sounding like a death knell until proven false. The psychological toll weighs heavily, especially on younger crew members facing combat for the first time. Sleep is scarce, replaced by adrenaline and the constant hum of readiness. Commanders understand that morale is as critical as weapons. Fear can spread faster than fire if not contained. Enemy forces exploit this, launching harassment attacks designed not to sink the carrier, but to wear down its crew mentally. Every drone on radar could be real. Every sonar ping could mean a lurking submarine. The pressure is unrelenting, a reminder that in modern conflict, the mind is often the first battlefield. For the Ford, survival depends not only on steel and systems, but on the will of its sailors to endure the storm. Silent hunters beneath the waves. While the Ford dominates the surface, the true shadow war happens below. Enemy submarines stalk the carrier group, using the ocean's depths as cover. Every sonar pulse is a question. Is it a whale, a rock formation, or a torpedo inbound? The carrier relies on destroyers, frigates, and helicopters to flush out these hidden predators. But one mistake could be fatal. Submarines are called the Great Equalizer, capable of neutralizing billion-dollar carriers with a single strike. For the sailors above, the unseen danger is often more terrifying than missiles streaking through the sky. The silence below the waves is its own battlefield, one that demands constant vigilance and absolute trust in sonar operators, who may be the only line of defense. The domino effect of war. One battle at sea is never just one battle. As the Ford engages, nations across the globe take sides, shifting alliances and strategies overnight. Smaller countries reconsider trade deals, defense pacts, even political loyalties. Rivals see opportunity, while allies seek reassurance. This is the domino effect of war, the chain reaction that spreads far beyond the battlefield. For every victory or loss the Ford endures, dozens of governments quietly adjust their calculations. The carrier may be fighting in one ocean, but the consequences ripple across the world's map. Cliffhanger. The Gerald R. Ford sails on, damaged but undefeated. Its survival is both a testament to its strength and a reminder of its vulnerability. Every rival power is now watching closely. In the Pacific, China sharpens its carrier-killer missiles, testing weapons designed to sink ships like the Ford in minutes. In the Arctic, Russian submarines expand their reach, preparing for future clashes beneath the ice. In the Middle East, swarming tactics evolve, learning from the Ford's near-miss encounters. The Atlantic test was only the beginning. The real storm awaits in the Pacific, where the balance of global power could shift with a single strike. The supercarrier remains America's symbol of dominance, but symbols can be shattered. The question is not if the Ford will be tested again, it's when and by whom. The USS Gerald R. Ford faced its first crucible of fire and came through battered but standing. For the Navy, it is proof that the investment was not in vain. For its rivals, it is a challenge, a warning that the carrier remains relevant but not invincible. The battle we've just witnessed is only one chapter in a story still unfolding across the oceans of the world. The age of the supercarrier is not over, but its dominance is no longer guaranteed. As the Ford sails toward its next mission, the question remains: will it secure America's control of the seas, or will it one day mark the twilight of carrier supremacy? One thing is certain: the world is watching, and the next test will decide the future of naval warfare.